Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to a brand new video on F1 2020, the game. This one, a bit of a different one to the My Team career mode. The next episode will be uploaded later today, guys, so keep an eye out for that. But in today's shorter video, we're talking all about crash physics in F1 2020. Can you cause a red flag? And also, more crucially, new AI mistakes, which you may have seen in episode 2, uploaded yesterday, of My Team career mode. There was that massive mistake from Lewis Hamilton, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the video and really analyze what went on there and kind of showcase the new features of the AI making mistakes in this year's game. A lot more than they did in previous years. But the first part of this video is going to be that big question: can you cause a red flag in F1 2020? And what are the crash physics like in this year's game? So, you know, for the last few years, unfortunately, there has been no red flag feature. We used to have it in the older Formula 1 games. I really don't know why they removed it as a feature as such. We've never actually really concretely heard actual reason. I think they've maybe kind of answered it and kind of, you know, hushed away from the real reason, but we've never really heard an honest answer of why blankly they just removed that feature. But we're going to try our best to cause a red flag scenario and see what happens. You know, either DSQs or a surprise red flag. I don't know, because it's not something they shout about. But you can see here at Monaco, I've blocked off everyone in the hairpin. We've got two Red Bulls down our inside of Albon and Verstappen. The AI themselves have blocked everyone off there. As we go to the replay camera, you're about to see the Racing Point blocked himself off. I don't know how he actually did that. You can see that Racing Point car is basically wedged on the curb, but the two Red Bulls are completely blocked by me. The Racing Point, like I said, yeah, he basically followed my racing line across that curb, which is weird. But then you've got this weird sequence of the Haas, the Renault, and Merc pretty much like identically like spewed off on the left towards the wall. So I don't know what went on there. Some very peculiar AI behavior, but you can see there's a Titanic pile up here. The Alpha's crashing into the Alpha Tauri. You got the other Alfa Romeo side by side with the Alpha Tauri, and the Haas, the other Haas is kind of blocked off. I wanted to see what happened with the Racing Point car. It looked like he kind of got spooked off the main racing line by the McLaren and the Haas. He tried to reverse Perez's AI, and then instead I think he got beached on the curb, or stuck on the curb, couldn't go any further. And then further back, obviously everyone just got a domino effect of being caught up. The Alfa Romeo tries to go around the outside here, then get blocked off, and the AI are trying their best to, you know, see a space, but basically I've made it so difficult for there to be any room that there is no room. But now you can see I'm just getting a warning for being stopped on track. Verstappen tries to go by. I do reverse, and that stops the warning for the stop on track, but that goes down to 0. I will get a ghosted reset scenario, and then I'll just be reset on track. But now you can see a load of people getting disqualified. Albon has somehow found himself down the inside of me. I go ahead and crash back into him and just try and, you know, create a bit more chaos. But we've got even more DSQs, which I was surprised by, actually, to be fair. So that was one good thing, that there were so many DSQs, so much carnage off that, because I really thought nothing would happen. I thought if I got out of the way, everything would go back to normal. But there were 9 disqualifications in that pile-up. So I guess in terms of chaos and changing the race, if there was to be a pile-up naturally occurring in one of your races in career mode, My Team, online, maybe there's going to be a few more DSQs, because I thought that was quite, you know, easily getting 9 disqualifications. Not really, I've never found it that easy, or never saw that many DSQs in F1 2019. So it looks like there's maybe a bit more of a harsher, but less of a leniency, I guess you could say, in terms of the penalty system there for the DSQs. But unfortunately, yeah, that would have been, you got to admit, that would have been a red flag situation. If it happened in real life, you know, the Ferrari would have had to been taken out of the way if it couldn't reverse, and that would have been a red flag situation. But unfortunately, all we got was 9 disqualifications. We got a load of penalties or warnings for myself and other AI. But yeah, because the system is not being changed, you cannot once again cause a red flag in this game. And the crash physics as well, you can see here as I actually just noticed, I only just noticed now, I happened to crash into Gasly, which I didn't mean to. Obviously, those of you who watch my channel for a while, you'll know why that's kind of funny, but I did not mean to purposely crash into specifically Gasly's AI here, but I did. But you can see the crash physics there, at least in this crash, has not really changed too much. The front tyres have come off, the front wings come off, but the rear wings intact, the rear wheels are intact, the side pods are relatively intact. I mean, for the last 2 2-3 years, you can get scratches on the side pod. You'll notice in career mode episodes or just in general races, you'll see maybe the sponsors being chipped off a little with kind of these kind of fake little grazes on the side pods. But largely in part, I tested out again a different race, Azerbaijan this time in the Torpedo car himself with Kvyat. Crashed into him, 2 tyres fly off, the front wing flies off, but the damage model has not changed, unfortunately, for this year's game, which I kind of knew. I'm not really surprised about that, but showcasing it to you guys, because I have seen a few questions asking if the damage model had changed throughout the entire preview testing phase of F1 2020 with those preview videos and the 2 videos we've uploaded so far on my team. I kind of already sensed and knew that I doubted the physics model would have changed too much. I'm hoping, and this is a lot of hope to be fair, so I have a lot of hope for the next generation, of course, because the next iteration will all be on the new generation consoles, the PS5, the Xbox X series, I think it's called, and then the PC, obviously. Maybe that will be the chance to change the physics model completely in terms of the damage, what can be done, because this is very much, I would say, the same damage model that's been there since, I don't know, F1 2016. I think it got a little bit better from 2015 to 2016, but from 2016 onwards, it's been the same thing. The front tires can be taken off, the front wing can be taken off, and there's a bit of scratching on the side pod. And then if you install a realistic damage mod, you can get the rear tires off and the rear wing off, I believe. But that's only with a mod. But back in the day, because now you're about to see, this is a big flashback, if any of you guys were around on the channel back then, F1 2014, Survive Monaco. Now, forget the damage, because that's with a mod, with realistic damage, so forget the carnage. But you can see here, back on F1 2014, you could get a natural red flag. The race has been suspended due to the crashing, and you have to resume the session, and you retake the grid, and you can see here there are only 18 runners, 2 retired, a few were able to cobble together their car back up together, and it was very much like, you know, remember the most infamous red flag I can remember from memory, just because it was quite a really big deal at the time, was the 2011 Monaco Grand Prix. You had Jenson Button and Alonso chasing down Sebastian Vettel. Massive crash happened with a Force India, I believe it was, I think, of Sutil or Paul di Resta into the swim pool section nearly, and as they were coming through, and the red flag stopped that race, and it nerfed it, and it actually paid dividends to Sebastian Vettel. But it's such a shame a little bit that we're still not going to see a red flag in the F1 game, because it has done in real life, change the entire race. Like a safety car can change a race, like a virtual safety car can change a race, a red flag is even more powerful, because you have to line up on the grid and redo the 5 red lights. So if you're a good starter, you could get a great start, go off those 5 red lights. Here's another good example here at a race I did way back in the day. I think this was Ultra Mod or something like that, and red flag, too much rain, and then we had to redo the restart here with a little bit less rain on track, but you're able to get a good start, dive down the inside, try and do something. So it's a little bit of a shame. I'm really hoping that the red flag could be something that comes back into the F1 games, because we had it for about, what was that, 4 years, 2010 to 2014. It'd be good to see it back. But one positive I will say in this video, so I'm not going to just have this all negative. One massive positive, like I said at the start of this episode, or video rather, was the AI mistakes. Now, you may have seen this in episode 2 of my Team Career Mode, but I'm just showing you guys again. For those of you who maybe have not seen that video yet, do go check it out. It was uploaded yesterday. But there was this massive crash between Albon and Hamilton. Ironically, at the time when I recorded this episode, by the way, the incident in Austria had not actually happened. So this is just absolute amazing luck that Hamilton and Albon crashed in this race, because I recorded this like a few days before the actual real-life Austrian Grand Prix. But this is what happened. Hamilton got on the curb, and very much like with the player, when you get on the curb, it snaps you off, because the curb spins out the front, or kind of suckers in the front, spins out the rear, and then you've got to try and catch it, or you just spin, basically. And Hamilton's AI, well, first of all, he made this mistake, which we never saw in F1 2019. So, massive kudos for Cody's and the coding for this. I love this. To see that we'll hopefully be getting, you know, consistent mistakes like this from the AI throughout the career mode, throughout the seasons, is great, because it humanizes the AI even more, because as you as a player, you're going to make these mistakes once in a while. And then the AI of Hamilton really tries to catch it like a human would. He steers into the spin. Then here you can see he has to snap back twice. He snaps once right, once left, a second time left, and then a third time trying to catch the car, but he just can't catch it. But the fact that he's actually moving his wheel about into the spin, trying to catch it after initially making a mistake is really great, kind of more realistic handling from the AI, and I'm really here for it, and I hope we can consistently see that. We also saw similar mistakes at the start of that Grand Prix at Bahrain, where Kvyat crashed into the Racing Point car because he misjudged the braking point and his front wing came off. So some really good mistakes there. So that's at least one thing I can really, say kudos to Cody's for on this year's game with the AI mistakes. The only thing that we're kind of missing, obviously, is just improved crash physics, the red flag, but AI mistakes are a big part. It was a very dramatic crash and a big moment in yesterday's episode, and I hope we can see that more and more throughout the season, throughout your guys' gameplay, that you'll see these dramatic instances where the AI finally crack under pressure, make those mistakes that you as a player will inevitably make once in a while. So at least that's really good news. So we're going in the right direction of having even more natural realism with the AI. It's just that it's a shame that once again, for that, what's that now, the fourth game running or fifth game running, we do not have the red flag anymore in the game, and the crash physics haven't really changed, and we haven't really got a full concrete answer as to why that's not really changed. I know it's not the most important part of the game, but obviously it's still a part that us as Formula 1 fans like to see evolving, and it's something that just hasn't evolved in like 5 years. So that's a bit of a shame, but one good thing, like I said, is the AI mistakes, so kudos on that. But that has been this video then, showcasing to you guys just the crash physics, answering that question quite simply. No, you can't cause a red flag. You might be able to get like 9 DSQs. Like I said, there might be crazy instances. I remember last year in F1 2019, an AI crashed in the swimming pool section, very much like in 2011, and caused a safety car, and there were about 9 DNFs in that instance. So there will be instances where there's a mass pile-up for sure on this game. That will happen, but you'll never get a red flag from it. You'll just get at most a safety car and a bunch of DSQs. But that's been this video, episode 3 of my team career mode at the Vietnam Grand Prix. It's going to be uploaded later today, so watch out for that, guys. But if you did enjoy this video, then hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for more F1 2020 content. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.